Okay, to get started, you need to split your screen so that you have the example soccer flyer on one side of your screen and you have a Google Drawing new document on the other side of your screen. Once you get here, you can go ahead and name it up here soccer flyer. And our goal today is that we're going to make our soccer flyer look exactly like the example that's given. To do this, you'll notice that your screen has gray and white checkerboards. So if you press Control and click, then you can choose background. And you're going to choose white, which is right above here on the pink, right above the pink. So now you've made your paper white. Excellent. Now you're going to also notice that your paper is wider and this one is up and down. This is called portrait, and because it goes up and down. If it goes sideways like this, it's called landscape. But we want to make our paper look like this one. So go to File, Page Setup, and if you click on the arrow and you go down to Custom, the first number is how wide the paper is, and the second number is how long the paper is going up and down. So traditional paper is 8 inches. If it doesn't say inches, changes to inches. 8 by 11. And then press apply. So now you've got a paper that's similar to the paper over here on the soccer flyer. Okay, I'm going to go over to Insert to make a really cool title, and you can choose word art. And make sure you spell this right. I'm just going to write family, friends, and the 7, by the way, if you press Shift. Soccer players. Now I know mine's not uppercase. We'll fix that later. Just write it like normal, but it is title case, meaning the first letter of every word is titled. If you press Return after you type that, you'll see that it's kind of a small title. I could make that bigger, but it doesn't look like this one. So I'm just going to undo. And this is actually 2 lines. So if I just double click on it, it says right here, use Enter to save, use Shift Enter for multiple lines. Okay, so after the and, because it's after the and, there was 2 lines. I'm going to press Shift, keep my finger on Shift, and press Enter. You can use Enter or Return. It goes to 2 lines, and then I can press Return and make it bigger. This one looks like it's the top fourth of the paper, so maybe something like this would look good. It's obviously a different font. So if I go up here to Arial, it might be Bangers. Yeah, it is Bangers. And Bangers might not be one of your choices, so just go to More Fonts. And if you type in Bangers, you'll be able to get that font. Okay. So that looks like our example here. This font is cool because as you see, it's like dark and it gets lighter. So if you go here to the paint bucket, you could choose like red, but that's just red. This gets darker and lighter. It's pretty cool. So let's go back to the paint bucket, and I want you to choose gradient. And here you see different dark and lights. Doesn't look like it's that gradient. It's the bottom one. It was this one right here. So that looks pretty good, almost exactly like our example. Okay, let's go ahead and get this image. So you've done images before. Go to Insert, Image, search the web, and we're going to put soccer. But soccer is probably not going to be good enough because I'm going to get a bunch of photographs. I want clip art. So I'll type clip art in afterwards. Let's see if this one's good. This one has sort of a shadow. It's okay if that one actually is better. So I am going to use this one. So it looks more like the soccer ball just because I want it to be exact. Looks pretty close. And as you see, I only have a little bit of room down here to write, and I need half my page to write, so this ball is too big. I'm going to make it smaller. Maybe this is a little bit too big. So I constantly play with sizes here, just so I can make sure I have enough room to write my information on the bottom. Now I know you're thinking, oh, go do word art again for this section. Actually, this is a text box. Word art's great for a title, but the rest of it wants to be a text box. So you're just going to choose a text box and draw a text box here in the bottom, and we're going to be able to write. Now if you look, this looks centered on the top. So I'm going to find the center button, and I'll start writing, "You are cordially invited to the Bancroft Middle School annual dinner." Way too small, right? So I'm just going to highlight it. 24 looks pretty good. Okay, I'll go with 24 for now. I might go back and change that later. Then I'm going to press return. It looks like there's an extra space, so I'm going to press return again. Friday, June 1. It says 2019 in the example. I'm going to make this more current, so let's make it 2020. It's pretend anyways. In the Bruin Gym, 5:30 p.m. Okay, press return, return, and now the font gets smaller. So I'll try 14 for now. And if you look carefully, it's no longer centered. How do I know? Because certificates would be in the middle if it was. So it's on the left side now. And then you just have to type, "This is a wonderful evening for family and friends." Once you type that, you'll notice that it doesn't look quite as big as our example. I think it's because our example, it might be size 16. So if I highlight this, I'll notice there isn't a size 16. No big deal. All you got to do is go up here to the box where it says 14, delete, and go to 16 and press return. Then it will be 16 instead. I'm making my text box a little bit bigger. You'll see why in a second, because then "and" goes where it's supposed to. This is size 24. This doesn't look like size 24 space right there, so I'm going to make this space size 12. I'm trying to get everything fitted. All right, last section. Now everyone always asks how you make this last section blue. Blue just sort of represents a link. I'll show you the secret. You just put a space after the period. It will make it, if it had the @ sign, it makes it a link automatically. Now mine's way too close to the bottom, so it looks like I'm gonna just have to, since it doesn't quite fit, I'm just gonna move things up a little bit on my page, maybe make my ball a little smaller still. And if I move things up, it now fills that page pretty well. Looks like there's not as much space to the left of right. Maybe it wasn't 16. Let me try making it smaller again. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is 14. and then just thinner. That looks too small. Maybe I'll make it size 15. Maybe it's between. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so once you're done, you'll notice, oh shoot, if you look carefully, Miss Milton, this looks like it's underlined. All right, so highlight this section and go to the U for underlined. We'll be doing flyers for the next few days, and your job is to try to make the flyer as close to the example as possible. This one looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and save it and get it turned into Classroom. As you see, typing comes in handy when we do flyers.